Hello, good morning. Muy buenos dias, continuous liners. Can you hear me now? Can you see me now? Hey, who's this fella? It's my Diablo he's my paper mache Diablo that I'm in the process of repainting. And so, hi everyone, good morning, buenos dias. Checking in with you on this Monday, November. Gosh, we're at the end of November, aren't we? Screaming head first into the holidays. So hard to believe that we're at the end of this year already, right? Oh my goodness, time flies. So I am not at a cafe. I'm in my little apartment that I'm getting ready to move out of. I'm moving out of here tomorrow. I'm moving down the hill, down the mountain, into a more appropriate apartment for me. So I figured, it's my last day here. I'll just do my little broadcast from here. And I sent out an email this morning. I've been doing some promo stuff for this Friday kicks off our, you know what I'm going to do really quick? I'm going to put my headset on so my microphone. Hang on, I'll be right back. There we go. Sorry about that. The headset sort of shields the outside world a little bit, even though there's not much to be shielded from. But it helps me focus a bit more because I don't hear the chickens crowing, and I think someone's working on a room up there. Anyways, let me bring you a little bit closer, because we're going to do some line warm-ups here. Oh, yeah, so this Friday kicks off the Coffee Sketch 2023. It's something that I did back in 2021. We were all pretty much still in our houses back then, and we are not now, but it's not a bad idea to have something to do inside your house because, we're going into winter, and whatever your news source is, you're probably hearing some things about, like, it's winter time. It's when, like, all the viruses stay inside, right? So it's always good to have a practice in your house. So you don't always have to go out and, get COVID. I'm not laughing at that. I'm just saying, like, it's just good to have options, right? So I'm going to continue my online classes because I too like to have something in house and online, right? So I don't always feel the need to go out. So anyways, the Coffee Sketch 2023 is a 31-day drawing challenge where you're going to draw your coffee cups along with me. Now, some of you who may not have done this, and even those of you who did this and maybe fell out, were like, how the heck am I going to draw a coffee cup for 31 days, right? And people fall out because they can't, they're like, I got nothing, right? And that's, that's fine. That's part of the process, really, is the creative block, right? Like, I got nothing. But there's honestly endless ways to do it, right? Like, you could draw the same thing, and people have done this, right? The same thing for 31 days. And it's amazing what that sort of practice, that commitment, that dedication, it's amazing what it'll do to your practice, right? Like, what if for 31, if you're like, here, wait, let me grab my coffee here. If you're like, oh my God, I can't draw this thing for 31 days. Are you kidding me? It's Christmas time. I have caroling to do. I have gifts to wrap. I have vacations to attend. Don't I wish? Maybe you're like, I have no clue how to draw this. Let me have a sip of it first. Like, oh my God, how am I going to draw this plain old cup, which I think is actually beautiful. It's from Mexico City. There's a group of artists in Mexico City that make these ceramic no lead, not just cups. They do everything, pots, teapots, and ollas. And there's no lead, right? That's kind of a big thing here in Mexico. A lot of the ceramics have lead in it. Wait, what am I talking about here? All right, so you say, oh my God, I can't draw this thing for 31 days. I can drink from it for 31 days. So what if you were to draw, looking in a mirror, if you were to draw your hand holding the cup with your face, right? Like, now there's a challenge, right? Because to draw oneself for a month, mind expanding. So, but a part of this practice is the daily warm-ups, right? I think that's something that really became powerful to me during the early days of the pandemic when I started doing the Zoom classes, because, you know, first of all, I had to fill the time and I had to find ways to, like, I developed a curriculum around it, right? It wasn't just like filling time. Yeah, let's just talk celebrity news. That's filling time. Did you hear? So I just developed this curriculum that helps build, develop skill, right? And you barely even notice it, right? So right now, oh, you can't see it because you're looking at my devil. I'm just doing lines on the page. See that? You know, very simply, this part of the warm-up is not about drawing anything, right? Oftentimes, I mean, I see it, you know, there's just artists who, when they're doing the line warm-ups, they feel compelled to draw the thing, right? Well, if I'm going to be drawing, I might as well draw something, right? I understand that impetus for sure, but what I just want to stress is the line warm-up is an opportunity to condition your hand, your eye-hand coordination, and just honestly the long stroke, right? The just moving through, right? So if you're just getting started with sketching, you're not going to be accustomed to like these long strokes. You may have a sketchy thing. That's how most people start out, because it's a fear thing, right? Oh, I'm just going to put some marks on the page. And you know, I'm not knocking it, because that's a teaching tool as well, a learning tool, to just be sketchy, right? So, and that's some people's style for sure. Let me see if I can just give you a little bit of this action here. Just a little bit, right? Just so you can see. I'm just moving through, and right now I'm resting my hand on the page. That's my kickstand. But if I were to go just lift it like this, that's freestyle. And when you go freestyle, your lines are much wobblier, right? So anyways, the continuous line warm-up is an opportunity to just condition yourself. It's like stretching. It's like vitamins. It's like just practicing keeping your pen on the page and not lifting it. Now, there's no rules, but there's some guidelines, right? You can lift your pen to take a sip of your coffee. You can lift your pen to pet a dog if a dog comes trotting by. You can lift a pen to smile at someone. And you can lift your pen if you have like a scratch, right? What I'm trying to say is there's no rules, right? Like sometimes we lift our pen and it happens, right? It's not like there's no continuous line po-po. You're not going to be arrested. I like to think that most of the people in my drawing group are no longer at that place of like, oh, I lifted my pen, right? Because honestly, nobody cares. Nobody cares if you lift your pen. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you can do a continuous line. I mean, some people might be impressed by it, right? I sometimes get people who are like, wow, look at what you did there. Oh, my God. And then other people are like this one, like, who cares? I don't care. No one cares. The world doesn't care. But I will say this. The world does need you as an artist, right? The world needs artists, right? The world needs storytellers. We need storytellers more and more so with the hand, because we're just screaming into, I mean, it's just a digital age, and there's everything is digital, right? Like, I don't even have to get out of bed. I can stay in bed and update my website and send out emails and do my bank. I mean, just like you guys, right? We can do everything in bed. I don't have to get up and go to my desk and be like, oh, now I'm at work and I'm going to work. No, I can have a dream that I forgot something in my website and wake up at 5 a.m. and update it in my bed. Send. and then I can go back to sleep. But then I'm thinking too much and I have to get up. Just giving you a little bit of my process here, right? I mean, that's what it's like when you have your own business, right? It's never, even when you don't have your own business. I think in this day and age, just because we have access to it, it haunts us, it taunts us, it follows us around, right? So, that said, the digital world, it's muy importante to have something that is your expression of your creativity. Not, oh, I'm going to draw like me. I just joined Meagan's group and now I'm going to draw like her. I don't want you to draw like me. In fact, I'm going to ask you, please don't draw like me. But I'm not going to discourage that either, because sometimes a good way to practice is to copy people's stuff, right? Don't try to sell it and don't put your name on it. Keep it as practice, right? But what am I trying to say? Be a storyteller. Be an artist. Be the artist that you're supposed to be, right? There's people that, that we're doing this coffee cup challenge, but honestly, it's up to you to tell the stories that you want to tell, right? Like, I happen to enjoy, like, an urban sketching experience. I like to go out and draw buildings and people and street scenes, right? I live in Mexico. I love just being out there in the middle of a parade, in the middle of maybe not in the middle of a parade, that's a little overwhelming, but like, in pyramids in Oaxaca, or at a mercado in Mexico City, and I just like to draw it. I'm not drawing like big event things. It's more like everyday stuff. I like the everyday slice of life, right? The everyday boom, like this is how I see. I mean, especially like Mexico City, when I know so many people are afraid of it, right? They've heard such bad things about it, right? Well, we hear bad things about the United States down here too, and I suppose some people are canceling their flights to Chicago, but generally speaking, most people are more afraid of Mexico just because of TV, Narcos. Everyone thinks I'm living in that show Narcos, and just, bad press. And there are some things that have happened here for sure. But generally speaking, is amazing country, amazing place. And I really enjoy being an artist here, right? And so I try to get people to come and join me in that, right? So in the meantime, I draw slices of life. That's my storytelling experience. I don't like to sit in my house and draw things. But that doesn't mean that you can't, right? If that's what you like to do, if you like to be at home and I like to be at home and make art, don't get me wrong, but I get my thrills out of being out on location, right? That's why I like to travel, that's why I like to be out there, that's why I live in Mexico, right? It's interesting, it's different. There's a whole different take on arts here, right? The Diablo in Mexico is everywhere. It's not like, well, it can be a bad and scary thing, but generally speaking, he's the liver of life, right? And he's living life, and he lives life, and he dies, right? Mexico is really great. Well, I should say, like, my experience of it, I look for the stories of life and death, right? In the everyday life. Does that make sense? Anyways, so what kind of storyteller do you want to be? Well, first of all, if you want to be a storyteller, you got to get over the fear of, like, I can't draw, right? I still get that. I think everyone does. Anyone who draws kind of gets that thing of, like, oh, God, how am I going to wreck this today? And you know what? Sometimes I wreck things, but honestly, just because I practice so much, I'm at a place that if I wreck something, I can figure out a way to fix it, usually. Or I just toss it aside and move on, right? That's another thing that practice allows, is it allows you to get over yourself. Like, okay, yeah, I did a bad drawing. We all do them. And so I'm just going to throw it away and move on, right? Throw it away and move on. So the line warm-ups, when you're not drawing anything, super importante for building chops, right? Building, conditioning yourself. These are the stretches before you get into the serious yoga or hiking or biking or whatever it is, right? You got to do some warm-ups, right? So get your motor running. Brum, 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 brum. Okay, I got my motor revving here now, right? And now I'm just going to come back this way a little bit because I'm really feeling the ease of doing a continuous line. It feels good. I'm comforted by this. I get centered by it. It makes me feel like, okay, all right, I may peek into the world and it looks like it's all going to blow up any second. But you know what? Just for this moment, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty centered because I'm drawing my lines and it feels good. It feels good to draw my lines. I'm not drawing anything. I'm just moving along the page. I'm doing my ice skating, ice skating, ice skating, ice skating, ice skating. And then something that that just kind of became part of my program, my practice, is I like to finish big with a heart, right? Like, I've had a lifetime of being tough on myself, right? And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. Just like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm fat, I'm ugly, loser, the whole deal, right? I've had to go through the whole deal. And so now I'm at a place where I'm just trying to go easy on myself, right? Like, because I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can. And I think now in this, as we come to as 2023 comes to a close, I think everyone is struggling with something. I mean, I think that's the human nature, right? There's always something that's going to be like nagging us, looming over us, right? And, there's a lot of climate concerns and political concerns and economic concerns and just, humanity concerns, right? And so we can fret about it all day long. We can read about it, doom scroll all day long. We can think that, this is the end. Or we can just get busy living, right? Get busy living and be an artist and tell your stories and practice your lines and develop your skill and develop your style, right? Don't worry about rules. Don't worry about, I have to draw that doorway exactly correct. I have to draw that coffee cup exactly correct. No, you don't. You don't. And in fact, I encourage you just to be playful with it, right? Be playful with it. All right, so I'm finishing big with the heart. Go easy on yourself. Go easy on others because everyone we know everyone is struggling with something, right? Maybe they're worried about their kids, worried about their grandkids, worried about money, worried about health as we're going into the winter season, right? So let me have a sip of my delicious Oaxaqueña coffee. I get my coffee from a fair trade roaster in Oaxaca. Muy importante. The coffee business, the chocolate business, they're all pretty exploitative here in Mexico. So you got to watch who you're buying from. Okay, so as an example here. Okay, so I have a Sharpie, and I have a little piece of paper. This is Fabriano. Okay, so I have a separate sketchbook for my coffee sketches for starting on Friday, and I encourage you to do the same. So what I'm going to do here is I've got for the exercises, the line exercises, this is just copy paper that I bind, right? Because it's a place where I have my sketches, and I know this is my warm-up book, right? Now I put that aside, and now, okay, let's see here. Let's see if I can do this. What I am going to attempt to do is draw myself on my paper with my Sharpie as I'm doing a live stream. Let's see if I can do this. Let me get this thing out of the way because it's already bothering me. Get my headsets. There we go. All right. Now, is that going to stay still? Who cares, right? Because I'm not like... Okay. So I'm going to hold this like this. And let me just move this up a little bit so I get the whole deal of my head. All right, my big honking head. A noggin, huge Irish noggin. Okay, so let's get started here. So that big hair hanging in my eye goes right into my coffee cup. Whoosh. My paper's moving around a little bit, but who cares, right? Nobody cares. And then it goes right into my finger, my hand, not my finger. All right, so there's, let's see, let's see. There we go. And then my big finger is kind of bent, right? So it gets wider, and then it's got a ring. And then my index finger goes up on the lip of my coffee. And then I'm going to do my coffee. There we go. There we go. All right, so then back up into my head, my big noggin. Okay. Okay. And then we're just going to do more. Look at the hair goes. It's getting pretty dried out. Okay, and then we got a little bit of a shoulder action here. But then we go right into my hand, right? So we're going to... Okay, so there's that. There's my head. And then we're going to just do a little bit more hair. Okay, now let's see. Let's do my big sunglasses. Alrighty. And there's my little fat Irish nose. Okay, and then we go into the face, and then I'm going to do a little... I'm going to stick my tongue out. Okay, and then there's that, and then okay, there's more hair. Let me get a little bit more up there. Okay, and then I got a scarf on. I'm not really going to do much about that. Okay, and then here comes my shoulder. Let's see. Oh, yeah, let me just put my little zipper. I'm actually just looking down at that. And then I can't see all that well. Alrighty, so there is continuous lines. Oh, wait, let's put this little guy over here. What's he doing? He's got a little, I mean, I'm getting kind of crazy now. I don't have to include him, but why the heck not? He's got a big nose and his tongue is hanging out. What's he doing? Oh, he's leaping. He's kind of leaping through the air. And then this guy. Whoosh. There we go. Okay, so I just did. Now, that is a very good daily practice, right? If this is something you just like, oh, how do I draw a coffee cup every day for 31 days? Well, why don't you try drawing yourself in front of the coffee cup, right? With your little devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other shoulder, right? So I may just put a little paint on this just because why the heck not, right? Just to give a little, this is not a watercolor challenge per se, but you can have fun with it like that, right? Why not? It's a good way, especially when you just practice like quick techniques, right? Watercolor is a whole nother career that, takes time and practice, and we do that in our continuous line storytelling, and it's a natural what am I trying to say? It like naturally develops, right? Because the more you just practice, and really, that's what I think what it all comes down to, right? Like you can buy all the best tools in the world, right? But if you're not practicing, what the heck do you got, right? So this is a great way to, there we go. And I think what I'm going to do here is just put a little of my sunglasses. All right, there we go. See, that took me less than 5 minutes, right? Continuous line coffee cup, right? And the coffee cup isn't really the focus, right? The focus is just the storytelling, right? There's me sticking my tongue out. Here, wait, let me see if I can do this. Oh, no, I got to do it this way. Is that right? All right, I'm totally cracking myself up. You can do this. Do this with me. 31 days of just being a ham and increasing your drawing skill, right? You can do this. Join me on Friday or join me in the Zoom class. All right, everyone, I'm going to go get ready for my class, which starts, I have plenty of time. It starts in an hour. And so get your sketchbook ready and get ready to join me for the Coffee Sketch 2023, okay? Have a good day. See you next time. Bye.